following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. It's going to be a fun show today. I'm trying to get that little thing working behind us, and hope everybody is well. Happy Wednesday! Before we get started, while I'm playing around with stuff, let me introduce my gorgeous, cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Flattery will get you everywhere, as they say. Yes, I am very busy writing a book. Yep, there you go, Jim. Good. I'm writing a book. We're very dark. There we are. We're very light.
Here we are. Good over here. We're good.
Okay. I'm writing a book. And the title of the book is A Little of This and a Little of That about show business. I'm writing about all the celebrities I've met in my life, which are many, 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 and little stories about them, how I met them and who they were. And a little bit of gossip about them. Also, some about my private life, which, I really didn't want to get too involved in because it's very difficult going back so many years. I'm 82, so going back, let's say, 70 years or 75 years that I remember, it's difficult. There's a lot of sadness, a lot of loss of people I loved very much. And when I relive those moments I spent with them, I become very morose. So I'm having a little trouble with it. I'm a very sensitive guy. Most writers are pretty tough. They can write about anything and not get emotionally involved. But I get very involved in what I write because it's all true. None of it's a lie. None of it's made up. And I try to keep it as accurate as I can. I try not to go offline of what I'm talking about. But I think it's going to be an interesting book, and I'm very happy that people on Facebook are saying they cannot wait to get it, to read it. I hope it enlightens people today in our business. I hope they get the book because it tells what show business in Hollywood was like 50, 60 years ago when it was different than today, when we had stars who looked like stars, who behaved like stars because the studio saw to that. And people in general dressed beautifully, were groomed beautifully. No one looked like the people look today. Everyone was beautiful, and that made the world beautiful. No matter where you went was beautiful. The department stores, restaurants, candy stores on the corner. Everything was just so perfect back then. Today, we have become Best Buy. Oh, Jimmy, what are you doing?
Go ahead. You're all right.
Today, we have become Best Buy and Marshalls and all that stuff. Totally. Jimmy, what are you doing?
I'm trying to make a different
Well, you should do this before we go on the air. Now we're going to fight again.
You can't see it.
Now we're going to fight again.
We're not going to fight.
I mean, he does this. So I hate his equipment. I told him just before we went on the air, if he doesn't get everything right, I'm off this show. I don't work on amateur shows. This is amateur. Look what you're doing. We're on the air and you're fooling around.
It doesn't matter. Nobody sees me fooling around but you.
Well, the baloney. The camera is videoing that.
Anyway, go.
Now we have a brick wall. I look like
we're getting rid of the brick wall. I just got rid of the brick wall.
The Valentine's Day massacre.
I just got rid of the brick wall.
Yeah. I look like when they lined them up at Valentine's Day and shot them all against a brick wall.
It'll go back in a second.
Oh, here we are. Now I see my kitchen. What do I
Anyway,
see?
say hi to everybody. There
Hi,
you go.
everybody. This is very disconcerting.
I just think because
But,
that seems
You know,
that seems
Jimmy
busy.
Star has his own way of doing things. If I were producing this show, it would be like my show used to be, Set the Record Straight, which was on channel 111 television, real television, not this podcast crap. I was on television, and my show went from Northern California to Northern Mexico. And then it was soon to go nationwide, but I forgot what happened. Oh, Time Warner Cable folded, and we all had to leave the studio. So my show folded when Time Warner Cable. I think they became something else. I really don't remember. So there you go. Now they got me blue. Look at this crap.
Now the blue was already there. That was what I was trying to
What
get
are you-
rid of.
This is hideous.
I'm not doing it. It's not. It's doing this.
Who's doing it?
it's-
The Ghost of Mrs. Muir.
No, I have it on no background at all, and it's
Oh, I can't take
and it's not
this.
working.
What happened? Engineer, can you help this fool?
No, he can't help it. It's me.
Well, our
he's
engineer
working on
might be able to do something. Ask
Juan, how do I get it off of there?
Juan, show this.
I put the virtual background back to none, but it's not going back to none.
Now we're shooting half of our show with
Now there we go. There we go.
we're doing half. That looks horrible. We're doing half of our show with technical advice.
So what's
I mean,
up, everybody?
really.
So we've got two guests coming on today. Tommy Brunswick, who's actually a female. Her name is Tommy Brunswick, and Nicole Vegas, who we do a whole lot.
Okay.
Oh, he says it's because of our TV in the background is on a delay. Okay. So there we go. So you guys,
Astro's here to brighten our day.
Astro's here to brighten our day. You
I
wanna
just
say
said
hey?
that. I just said that. Now you're going to copy what
The
I say.
Yo
Oh, I
Show is in the
can't.
chat room now. What's up, Yo
Oh.
Show? How you guys doing? Well, Angela Joseph is in the chat room. Hi, Angela.
Angie. When are we going to see you? I need hugs. I miss you.
Absolutely. You're
Angela
gonna see-
Joseph is probably one of the warmest, dearest, nicest people I've met since we moved back to California. Right, Angie? We have a good time together.
Absolutely.
And she lives in Colorado, which is, she has like
She said hello and hugs to you.
Yeah, well, she has 75 kids, I think. Maybe she has 12 or 15 children. I don't remember. But I went to her house and there were like thousands of children that she kept introducing me to. This is my daughter. This is my son. Anyway, she's stuck in Colorado because of her family. She'd love to be in California so she could work. She's a film producer and an actress.
She's still
Already-
working
She's still working from the freezing cold of
all
Colorado.
over the place. I know.
Anyway, Angie, kisses to you, my darling.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. So Tommy Brunswick.
And that boy got so beautiful, the blonde that was on Facebook, the tall one. I don't know which one that was. Maybe son number 38. But anyway, he really became a handsome young man.
Absolutely.
He's a blonde, curly-haired guy, really cute. She made some nice kids.
Absolutely.
Oh, and send love to your grandmother or your mother, I think it was.
No, your mother
Was your mother. Send love to your mother.
and the grandbaby. She has like a
And the
big grandbaby.
Listen, her family is about 138 people. If I were to mention them all, the show would be 7 years long.
That's hilarious.
Right, Ange?
Oh, and there's Astro. Astro's joined us for the show, and so did Brandy, who's on the floor playing with her stuffed Santa Claus.
Right, she loves her dolls.
She loves her dolls. So you guys, real quick.
But you cut me off when I was talking about my book.
Okay.
All right?
I think it's great that you're doing your book.
You're full of shit. You're jealous, envious, and mean.
No, I'm not.
Because you don't have a life to write about.
Oh, yes, I don't.
No, your life is very boring.
Yeah.
What?
Which, by
he
the
was-
way,
First of all, he was born in Florida. That right there is boring. Anybody born in Florida, what do they have? Oranges and beaches. I was born in New York City. Now that's where you really get history.
so she says she's snowed in right now. The base is closed. The schools are closed. She has 5 kids, 3 grandkids, and everybody's great.
Well,
And
thank
Dawn
God,
just joined us. Hey, Dawn.
thank God for family, or you'd go crazy living in Colorado. Now, can we go back to my book?
Yes. When's it coming out?
When I write it, when I finish writing it. I hope it'll be out by summer's end.
There you go. Perfect.
See how he's so blasé about it?
I'm not.
If it were
blasé.
his book, oh my God, we have to make such a big deal about it. But Jimmy's life, what? He was a tennis player. He thought he was gay. He didn't know if he was gay. He met a guy 100 years older than him. He lived with that guy for like 50 years and then met me, dumped him
50
for
years.
me. And now he's
50
here on the
years.
show screwing all of the technical shit up. So there's Jimmy's life.
That's why people like
about 12 pages. You could read. You do it on 12 pages, and it's over. And if you don't fall asleep on the 12 pages, he's lucky.
Yes, well,
My book is dishy, exciting. It talks about Sophia Loren. It talks about Tab Hunter. It talks about Jane Russell. It talks about Lily Tomlin. It talks about Marlon Brando. It talks about the legends, the great people that were in Hollywood. Jimmy, what does your book talk about?
I've got like 6 or 7 books that are out that can all be purchased on Amazon, so you can go.
Oh, yeah.
and see, but they're not about me. They're about other people.
Yeah, right. They were so successful that 2 copies were sold.
No, one of them went to #1 on Amazon. I don't know
One
what
of them
you're
went to
talking about.
#1 on Amazon. You dream.
I do not
What
dream.
book,
I have the
what
proof
book
of
you
it.
have went to #1?
I have several.
False publicity.
I got the pictures in my thing that I
What
can
book
show
did
you.
What book was
It was
that?
one of the
That was-
fictional stories I wrote went to #1 on Amazon.
Oh, dream.
And also the
dream.
book that I wrote the forward to went to #1 on Amazon, and the book that I wrote the thing on how to do Twitter went to like number 100 on Amazon.
Well,
You
my-
didn't read any of my books.
Well, I haven't.
I gave them all to you, but
I
you
fall
didn't read
asleep
them.
easy. Why would I want to read one of your books? But my book, I think everybody said it's going to be on the bestseller list.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I think it would be good. Oh my gosh.
Only because I want people today to know what it was like back then. You know, how wonderful life was in the 1950s and 60s. We just came out of a major war where we were all holding back on everything: food, tires on your car, clothing. In school, they used to make us go under the desk in case the Japanese or the Germans were bombing us. It was a terrible time growing up as a child. And then the 1950s came and prosperity came. Everybody owned 2 cars, homes, clothing was beautiful. The actresses, movie stars were beautiful. And it was a beautiful time. The 60s were wonderful. The 70s started to get raunchy. The 80s were going downhill. The 90s became vulgar. And where we are right now is, I don't know what they're doing with movies, but stop with the garbage that you're making. Give us good stories again. Not just blood, guts, car chases, people beating everybody up, violence, anger. Everybody in film is angry. Can't we have a movie where people get along and people are nice? Well, I guess nobody gives a damn about goodness.
Nobody cares about nice.
People like evil and rotten and disgusting.
Angela says she's going to be coming sometime this year.
You're full of crap, Angie. You said that last year.
No, well, last year wasn't
When are
COVID.
you- when
she
are
said
you-
sometime in the next 5 months, and she's going to Texas in March for a convention.
Well, let
So-
me know when you're coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So real quick, you guys, you can listen to the show on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime.
Actually, on every device you have, even your cell phone, which is interesting, you can watch our show live, or you could listen to it in delay. What's it called? When it's
On a podcast.
On a podcast.
Absolutely. You can watch us
Whatever.
either one.
What did podcast come from? What does pod mean?
I don't know. That's just the name of it.
It's stupid. Like all these new names are stupid. Years ago, we had names that made sense. Nowadays, you go on Twitter. What the hell is a Twitter? Or you go on, what's the other one?
Instagram,
Instagram.
TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. Oh, please. TikTok. What are we, 12 years old?
Oh, Diane just joined us
TikTok.
too. Say hi to Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Hey,
Lipstick.
Diane.
Remember, lipstick, lipstick, lipstick.
All right,
That's
so
what
you
that's
guys, we're
when-
gonna play
You
a-
cut me off again. Listen, you better
No.
learn. When I speak, you stop. When I
Okay,
stop,
we
you
have to move
speak.
forward at the moment.
Well, will you wait for me to finish, or
Okay,
forget
go
about
ahead.
it, or go hire somebody?
Go say
Hire. I don't make a nickel on this friggin' show. I've been on this show 15 years, 14 years.
10 years.
Never made a dime. He pays me nothing. And then I say, how come you don't pay me? He said, because we're married. Imagine. He married me just to get me free.
Yeah.
I betcha.
So-
I betcha.
So real quick, you guys, we're gonna
Wait,
play.
not done. We have movies coming up that are going to be fun that we're making. And I'm playing some crazy parts.
Actually, some of them you can talk about.
Name them.
Red River.
Red River. I play a scientist, which I've never played in my life before. So I have to lose my Brooklyn accent, change my hair, and look a little weird.
Quigley 2.
Quigley 2. I play a mafioso boss. Hey, over there. Get that guy and shoot him. Because you know what I'm saying? If you don't knock that freaking guy off, I'm going to knock you off. You get it? What I'm saying?
And then we're gonna have Well, we have another movie that he's going to play. I don't think we can talk about that one.
I play
Those
a,
other two I know.
I play
we can
a
say.
vampire in a vampire.
Typo negative.
Light in the Loafers. He's a gay vampire, so it's quite interesting. It's a very good script. I can't
Ron
wait
and
to
I
do
are
that
playing
one.
podcasters in the Washington Triangle, which won't shoot till the end of the year.
So I have a lot of movies.
And
I'm going to be working straight through the year.
And I have another movie with that I'm producing that Ron will have a role. We don't know what he's going to play yet, but it's a romantic comedy, kind of like Pretty Woman, and it's called My Porn Star Wife, and it's going to be hilarious.
Right, I might play the porn star wife in dress. I doubt it. And then of course we are going to do my movie, The Curse of Magic, which is about a 1943, a woman that's a bookie married to a mafia guy from Brooklyn, and they encounter the Nazis. So it's a very funny black comedy.
And we have we're hoping to shoot that towards the end of the year, and we also have Dog Moon that we're hoping to shoot this year, and that he plays an FBI agent, and it's a trilogy, and it's a werewolf horror movie, and we've got some great people attached.
So God willing, if I don't drop dead from old age, I'll be working in all these films. You know what? This brings me to say something to all of you out there. It took me how many years? I started this when I was 19 years old. Now I'm 83. Do the math. It took me those many years to get where I am today.
64 years.
It took me 64 years to become a really working actor. So never give up, because it does happen. If you stay at it and keep plugging and keep doing it, it does happen.
I agree totally.
Those that give up will never know. And here I am becoming really a very, very well-known actor. And it's my dream. It's what I wanted all my life. And I'm lucky to get it at this age. And not just that Jimmy puts me in his movies.
No, those aren't all my movies.
They're not all his movies. I'm in other people's movies that they asked me to be in, which is a great compliment.
Clown Motel. He's in Clown Motel too. Clowny,
because they've seen my
The
work.
Beast Inside. I don't have anything to do with any of those roles.
They've seen my work.
Clown Fear.
Again, I'm speaking.
I know, but I'm giving titles of movies.
This is called The Mouth.
Anyway, we have to go because our guest is here.
I'm going to walk. This is called The Mouth. When this stops, you speak. But when this is...
No, I'm giving this because you don't even know the names of all the movies that you've done. I'm telling people the names so they can go see you.
I don't brag.
Anyway,
I don't brag. I give information. Don't you dare punch you right in your face. Don't you? And I never hit anybody. I just threaten because I'm a tough guy from Brooklyn.
That's right.
But
anyway, we're gonna bring on our first guest. You ready?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, really?
This is someone we've never met, you guys. So Angela Joseph introduced us. So now we're going to bring on our very first guest, Tommy Brunswick. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, my gosh.
I've met you guys at different things. I
think we have. Now that I see you up close, I'm like, we have met you. But you don't live here, right? You don't live here. Or you live in, Michigan or something.
No, I live here. Here. I just run the show in Michigan and Denver.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, so hi. It's nice to see you.
Hi, good to see you. I've only lived here for 4 years. So with COVID, it's 1 year,
Well, we've only lived here 5. And so, but Ron used to live here. And we're not even in LA. Are you in LA?
I'm in Van Nuys, this valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in Palm Springs.
Okay.
So this is Ron Russell, my cool, outrageous man about town co-host. So
I was talking to you at one of the premieres recently.
I refuse to be a part of this show.
What premiere? Wait, what premiere?
Because he's so nasty to me.
It was
easier. Listen, I want to ask you a question, Tommy. Are you married?
I'm divorced.
Okay. Didn't you argue with your husband all the time?
No.
Oh. Because Jimmy and I argue all the time.
Let's put it this way: my husband is a little scared of me, so.
I love your hair. It's so cute.
We only argue about business. In private, we get along beautifully. The moment we discuss the business, I've jumped out of cars while he was driving because I wanted to scream. I couldn't deal with his meanness anymore.
Oh, because I'm so mean.
You are mean sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
about business, yes.
Sometimes he says cold, horrible thing because he's an Englishman. English people are very curt. I'm Italian, so I'm very romantic and very sensitive.
Yes, hold on. So wait, we have a chat room that's starting to
But
fill
I
up.
do know a lot of mafia people, and I could have them killed, but I won't.
Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hello.
Angela Joseph is there, and she says hugs. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, isn't Angie a nice girl?
I love Angie. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a nice girl. We like.
And
her.
also, Dawn Hinton says she loves your hair. It matches her,
Right.
her wardrobe. And I love your hair too. So my
Now,
business-
wait a minute. Do you have extensions in there, or is it all your
No,
own?
it's all my hair. It's just
So
all.
you had them do the colors.
Yeah.
I used to be a colorist. You know, being an actor, you starve. So I had to do something. I became a hairstylist and a colorist. And I remember back about maybe 20 or 30 years ago, there was a magazine out that came from Paris. And they showed all these women in blue hair, pink hair, and green hair. And I thought, how ridiculous. Women are never going to do that. And they're trying to push this. It looks stupid. They all look like clowns. And here we are with women with blue hair, green hair, and multicolored hair. And you know what?
Clown,
It's become very chic. It's very chic.
Well, I'm old, so I have lots of gray.
Oh,
So
you're not old.
I'm just gonna go like.
You're not old. Grab a load of this mug. This is old. You're not old. You're far. You're half. No, you're less than half my age.
I bet you're not even 40. You're not even 40 yet.
Oh, I love you guys so much. I'm 52.
Oh, wow.
You know
You don't
what?
look it. You look great.
You have no wrinkles. That's good. How come you have no wrinkles?
Because I don't go out in the sun often. Maybe I'm half Filipino, so my family is
What are you?
She's half
Filipino.
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 A Filipino and what?
What's the
White.
half?
Totally white.
No, because my good
The whole
friend.
thing, I didn't know what my other half was, and I did the 23andMe or whatever that is, and I'm Polynesian, Asian, and white. So I'm so boring.
We have a few friends with the same background. Ming Ballard, she's Vietnamese and Filipino and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And the other gal is, we just found out, who else? I forgot who. But we know a lot
Oh,
of.
no, Tina.
Oh, Tina, our
Tina.
wonderful Tina, my beautiful Tina. She's Vietnamese and she's Hawaiian, all that stuff. So
Actually, my very first serious.
very beautiful women, by the way. They're all beautiful women.
Before I figured out I was a total homo, my very serious first girlfriend was Filipino. And she was gorgeous and she was rich. I remember I was so excited driving around. She had a convertible BMW and I thought, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever.
I went out with a girl that was also Filipino, and her name was Nanita Kempo. Nanita was her first name. Tempo, if I'm correct.
So wait, let's
So
go.
she was pretty.
So we just
She had green eyes.
what premiere did we see you at?
It could have been the Tommy Knockers one.
Oh yeah, we were
It
there.
was Tommy Knockers.
Yeah, but I've been to like Clown Motel too. You know, I've seen you guys.
I've seen you around all the time.
Yeah.
And we did cookie. I never really stopped to talk to you because
No, you did. We did talk last at the Tommy Knockers premiere. We chatted at the bar after or something.
Are you
Right,
are
I
you going to
remember.
Bermuda Island on Friday?
I am. I'm usually,
We'll see you then.
usually Eileen Dietz is +1. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I love Eileen.
We love Eileen Deeds.
So do I.
I was supposed to work with her in Clowney, and I was so disappointed when she had a prior commitment and backed out. But then I was happy because we had
Donna Lee Heising.
Donnelly Heising, who they cleaned up to make look, a little dowdy, and it was a wonderful shoot. But I would have enjoyed working with Eileen. Sorry, but we'll work again. I'm sure Joe Kelly will stick us in something.
yeah.
So we'll see you, and we'll see you Friday. That's super exciting. So let's talk a little bit about you. So first of all, so you live in LA. So I've heard of Motor City Nightmares. You guys, Motor City Nightmares is a horror convention where you go and is there also a film festival or is it just a horror convention?
It's a horror convention with the International Film Festival.
And it's been going on how many years?
I'm going on my 15th year this year.
And so how is it that you do that there, but you live in LA? Like, is that difficult for you to do?
It wasn't because I just moved out here like 4 years ago, but my husband just told me that he was going to be with a girl that was half our age. So he said, I'm not sticking around to watch this. I packed up my car, literally just packed it and drove out here.
You know why men do that?
I don't
I have a
22
friend-
years of marriage.
I have a friend of mine who's a very famous Beverly Hills psychiatrist. I will not give his name.
Okay.
He said the minute men's penis is no longer 100% hard, they go for a young girl because for some reason the young girls get the penis a little harder. So
Yeah.
it's all about their
I
dicks.
think that's exactly that. No, it's probably exactly.
No, it's true.
You're
I
right.
hope he's
No,
listening.
Right.
these guys, when they get to be 50, can no longer bang their wives. So
Yeah.
they go for the young tomato that gets them hot and horny. Same
Yeah.
thing with gay guys. Gay guys can't bang each other when they get old. So they go for the young, cuties.
Young cuties.
It's very sad that you throw away a
Dawn
life.
says that's bullshit. So I guess her
Who
husband.
said that?
Dawn says it's, but she's still with her husband. So
Who?
Well,
That's-
some people.
Dawn said it's bullshit. No, Dawn, it's true. Because a lot of men, a lot of women are gorgeous when they're 19. Their bodies of death. And then when they're 50, they get overweight. Their tits are hanging. Their ass is mushy. They have a belly hanging over their box. So, I mean, they're not necessarily the most interesting thing that you want to bang. And
Right.
men get turned on by it. So they go for the young
I
body
think it's
again.
terrible.
No, Jimmy, you like old bags.
Yeah, I like old bags.
You like old. No, Jimmy likes decrepit old men. If I tell you some of the men that he looks at, they're dead. They're corpses. No one told them that they're dead yet. If somebody said you're dead, they would lay down. That's how bad they are. And I said to him, I'm 82 years old, and I wouldn't bang them with somebody else's dick.
So wait, Dawn said no. She meant what your husband did to you was total bullshit.
Yeah,
And then
because
she wrote,
the dick
It
thing
was because I had no idea that we had a bad marriage. I thought everything was good because we had made 13 movies together. We have this convention that was, doing pretty well. And he just kept saying that we had nothing to show for being 50. So I'm like, well, we do have.
I want to say something, Tommy.
Here.
No.
this is for him.
You know what I want to say? I'm happy you divorced him. You know why? Because he didn't deserve you.
Thank you.
He didn't. And you know what? The next guy in your life, I hope, does deserve you. I hope
Yeah.
he's going to be unless you're gay now.
No, I'm not. Right now, I'm nothing because I am just focusing on my career.
No. Find somebody for your old age.
No, you're gonna find
Wait.
it.
Your
You know
career,
what? I don't care. I can be alone. I don't care.
Tommy, your career may never last forever.
Oh, it'll last longer than a relationship. I think.
No, that's not true. No, you're going to find somebody.
No,
nice.
you know what's going to happen is you're going to find somebody because you're not looking. That's when you always find
Yeah.
somebody.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm planning on doing. Not looking, so that it'll be.
No, I
Right.
think
You're
that's
very
terrific.
pretty. Are your boobs your own or are they fake?
They're my own. They're my own
Yeah.
for now. They might be bigger because I just recently had some surgery to lose weight.
Oh,
So my boobs are kind of going down, so I might get them pushed up and put out a little more.
I want to tell the guys out there who are fed up with these fake boobs, she's got real ones and she's pretty, beautiful, and she's available. So contact her, you schmuck.
So hang on. So now, what convention do you? Okay, we'll come back and talk about Motor City Nightmares. But what convention do you do then? Do you do the Colorado Horror Festival?
No. I just am starting. I went and met the Colorado Festival of Fear so I could work with them because I'm starting a Rocky Mountain Nightmares, and that will be in May, and then their show will be in September, so we can support each other.
Oh, that's terrific.
How come we're not in any movies together?
I am not. I am a director, writer. I am not a actor. I just do background work for extra money, but I'm not
Oh, you're a director. Now I go after you.
writer, producer. Yeah.
I really do not like directors.
Sorry.
No, you know why I don't like some directors?
Why?
Years ago, my first movie, I was directed by Sidney Lumet.
Lemon.
know-
Of course, Dog Day Afternoon. One of my
One
very
of the greatest directors in the world. And
Yeah.
I was 19. It was my first movie. And that's how I learned how a director works.
yeah.
Since then, I have never worked with a director yet that works like Sidney did.
Oh, I studied him in the beginning of my career. The beginning.
Wait
That,
a minute. The directors today that I have worked with were in other rooms watching a TV, and we did whatever the hell we wanted to do, whether it was right or wrong for the movie. Another director thought he was Adolf Hitler and was so rotten and mean to everybody on the set that I walked off his picture because I couldn't deal with what they were doing, the ageism and the horror they were doing to me on the set. If it was a SAG production, there would have been a lawsuit for sure, but it was non-SAG. So I have come to understand that there's a director who I love, who is Jennifer James. Jennifer James is an old timer, She works the old way. She said, we do rehearsals. We have marks on the ground. I thought, oh my God, marks? Oh, how wonderful.
Wait, everybody doesn't do that now?
No marks. No marks.
Because okay, I made quite a few movies, but even small budget, but we always had all of that.
Tommy, I really went up Schitt's Creek on my phone. I sailed right up Schitt's Creek. One director, I said to director, so what do I do? He said, what do you mean, what do you do? I said, where are my marks? He said, you don't have marks. I said, well, what do I do? He said, you walk across the room, you pull back the curtain, you look, and then you go and you open the door. I said, but what if I'm out of camera? Focus. He said, oh, don't worry. The camera, I don't know. The camera, it was an 8mm, I think, home camera. Or a spy camera. Anyway, I've learned to be my own director, and I've learned to be my own writer because I rewrite a lot of the lines that are not accurate. I know Mafia. I came from Brooklyn. So when I play a wise guy, don't give me a line like, oh, gee, gosh, heck. Because
that's where rehearsals come in, though. So we can
rehearse. Tommy, I've never.
They don't do rehearsals.
Listen, I was on the set of Clowney, and I said to Joe Kelly, if we don't rehearse, I'm not in your movie. He said, oh, no, Ron, we'll rehearse.
Yeah.
And all the other players were like spellbound. And we rehearsed. And afterwards, they said, oh, I like that. I said, yeah, because now you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when we finished shooting the film, they all said to me, Ron, that was terrific. I'm so glad you insisted on rehearsals. So you see, this is why the quality of film stinks. Now, when I work with you, which I will one day, and you're my director, I want marks, I want rehearsal, and I want you to tell me if I stink or I'm good. And
I will.
And I want you to say, Ron, don't do that. That's bad. Or Ron, that's wonderful. Do it. That's what a director is supposed to do. Not stay in another. The movie I was on, what was it called? Clown Fear. Ming, what's his name?
I don't know his name.
Whatever the producer's name was.
Director.
He was in another room watching us on a television.
Literally like 50 yards away.
I never saw him. And I have a difficulty hearing. And I played a preacher. And there's a bridal party long. And the last girl is supposed to deliver a line. Oh, I can't hear her. So I'm standing there waiting for the line. And meanwhile, she spoke and the camera was rolling. So the director came out and said, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you speak? I said, I didn't hear her. He said, oh. So I said, next time we shoot, the next thing, let her do something with the hand signal. So she did. She held up her flower. And that meant she finished and I speak. Now, the director should have done that for me.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And after it was shot, he said, okay, now there's a scene where we have a black guy who I love. He's going to be in my movie.
Rufus
Dorsey. Rufus Dorsey is a fabulous actor and a gorgeous looking black guy. We're shooting a scene in the office and they shot it in low key. And it's me dealing out money, delivering my lines. The camera goes to him and guess what we saw? Eyeballs and teeth.
He started seeing it was so dark, all you could see was his teeth.
Eyeballs and teeth. And when I saw the film, I said, oh my God, if that's not really disgracefully horrible. Because years ago in cartoons, they used to show black people with just teeth.
I know.
And I just thought the whole film was just a piece of shit.
Yeah. But sometimes I come from a commercial background and I started out as a script supervisor. So I had to go through all of those drills and I'm older, so I do all of those old school things still.
Tell me exactly, I do this with all the directors I meet. What is your directing technique?
I don't really have a technique other than it depends on the character that I'm working with, because I really like all of my characters to have like a Bible kind of their history of that character. So then we go in and we talk about it, and then we work it out, because I know this, for me, the script, I like to go along with it, but I don't mind changing it ahead of time to embrace the character, because each actor is different and they're going to approach each character different. So that's what I want to help the actors find that.
So you work and believe in character development.
Very much.
I do. I'm in a film soon to be shot. I think we're shooting in a couple of weeks. I can't name it. But there's a very famous movie star who plays my son.
Cool.
and they come and tell me he's been killed.
Mm.
I have been working on my reaction for the last month. I keep doing it differently and differently until I get it. I am developing I'm a father, and I say to myself, oh my God, what would it be like when you adore your son and they come and they very coldly say, he's been murdered? What is your reaction? I feel that when I do that in this movie, it's going to be a very important part of the film because
Yeah.
I'm going to give it my 100%. Now, if we don't have rehearsal, if I did it cold, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And that's what's wrong with film. So I love the fact that you want character development.
Yeah, because that's the key. Because like every show that I love, like even Walking Dead, it is just a drama with zombies. You have to love the characters, or the show is worthless.
So who's your favorite character? Wait, who's your favorite?
I want you to
wait.
direct me. I want you to direct me.
Now, who's your favorite character on The Walking Dead? You have
I
a favorite?
haven't watched it in a long time, but I like the lady that that like Daryl, the short hair, the one that her Sophia her daughter died. She was my one.
I'm going to say something now. Here, I'm going to say something. You listening, Tommy?
Yes.
Get this on film because what I'm going to say you want to use. Jimmy, in one of your movies, I want her to direct me.
Okay.
Okay? So you're
Absolutely.
hired, Tommy. You're hired.
So wait, here's what we're gonna do. So first of all, let's brag a little. So here's the names. Now I don't have 13 movies. I went on your IMDb to write down these are movies you directed. I think you directed them and produced them, possibly.
Yeah.
So people know. So basically, you're a horror movie fan because I think all these are horror movies.
Yeah. Well, because horror or porn are the only two things you're going to make money from when you're a nobody like me. So I picked horror because I had 4 kids.
Never say you're a
You're not a
nobody.
nobody. You're
Don't
fabulous.
ever let me hear you say you're a nobody.
Okay. Well, what I meant is I'm not related to anyone.
No, just that you're not Barbara Streisand.
You're not that
But I
well
love
known.
Barbra Streisand. She's one of my all-time favorites. So
Yeah. Me too.
But just say I may not be Barbara Streisand, but I'm somebody.
okay.
So here's some of the movies, you guys. Exit 33, Evil Offspring, Jingles the Clown, Little Red Devil, Biker Zombies from Detroit. That sounds awesome. The remake, Mr. Jingles, They Must Eat, and Born of Earth. And you said there was 13, and that's only 9, so you have 4 more.
There's like Lurking Terror, Cannibals of Carnage. There's a couple Zombies of Carnage because we did a whole series of Carnage. Did you get Born of Earth? That was my biggest one.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, there's quite a few other small ones that we did that probably are like I've been getting calls from distributors because all my movies have come back to me, but I don't have the masters because my ex had all the masters.
Oh.
And so I have to go back and get them, which is just not going to be fun, but you know.
You got to work that out, though.
There's
Yeah,
some-
he gave me everything in the divorce because he just wanted the young thing. I got the movies and the convention.
Then you can go get them all. Then you can distribute them all again and make.
Right, again, I just have to find. I just
You
have
have
to,
to give it to him.
You know, for $10,000, you could have him killed.
oh, I could do it for way less, and they'd never find the body.
No, then you'd be
Just
free.
I just wanted to pay child support. That's I got to keep him around.
No, what we could do is we could put him in a movie and kill him on the film. That's what they call that when they kill people on movies.
Oh,
Crazy people that go
8
look
millimeter. That movie 8 millimeter.
Oh,
Snuff,
yeah.
snuff film.
at
A
a
snuff film.
We'll
Smut-
put him in a snuff film.
Snuff films, yeah.
I've never seen one, and I never want to see one.
I saw.
There are 2 films I will never see in my life: Snuff and that thing, that caterpillar. Disgusting.
Oh, he doesn't like the
filthy
human
beast.
centipede.
Ooh, I've never watched it either. I want to watch that either, and I don't want to watch the Serbian film either. So I don't know.
What film?
The Serbian film is really fucking bad.
I will
Yeah.
never watch
The
these
Human
horrible
Centipede, I
films.
had everybody, the entire cast on the show back before I knew Ron.
Yeah, because if you
And,
had them on with me, I would
But
say
I loved Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah,
So
that's a good movie.
that was good. That was like a precursor to Blair Witch. It reminded me of the found footage. Like
The
very
Serbian movie though was really like it was really.
But the
not so good,
Centipede
not good.
movie, if they said to me, you have to do
I
it
don't
or end your career, I would end my career. I
Yeah.
would never, ever be in such a film. I couldn't be that desperate.
Yeah, mine. I love creature movies. Anything with a cool creature.
I'm going to let Jimmy tell our audience, because I know what we're talking about. Tell them what the Centipede film is all about.
The Human Centipede, you guys. So if you haven't seen it, it's a real. The first one was really good. The second one and third one were terrible. But basically, it's about a crazy scientist doctor guy who kidnaps people and he attaches their mouth to a butt. And there's 3 of them in it. So the first guy is the lucky guy. The second person has their mouth sewn to the ass of the first one, and the third one has their mouth sewn to the ass of the second one, and then they feed the first one, and when the first one shits, it feeds the second one, and when the second one shits, it feeds the third one.
Hollywood is dead. Hollywood is dead.
I'm telling you.
Forget about it. Could you imagine this happening with Clark Gable?
No.
or Betty Davis? You know, the writer would be put in prison. They would have him arrested.
Oh yes, they would be.
Could you imagine giving Betty Davis that script and they would tie your mouth to Clark Gable's ass? I mean, come on. It would never be.
I'm telling you, the first one was done very well. The second one was stupid.
Get the fuck
and
out
the
of
third
here.
one
done very well.
The second one. So in the second Human Centipede, you guys, they have 12 people instead of 3 people, and then in the third one, they're in a prison and they have all the inmates in the prison. So there's like 200 of them all sewn together.
I think this
which would take a very long time for the last guy to get fed.
You know what? You know what? I have heard there are people who are into scat. And these are sicko people that have been abused as children. I think their parents let them lay in their duty forever because they love being in duty.
Angie says it was one of the grossest films ever, but she watched it. Laugh out loud.
Angie, what did you really think, Angie?
Oh my God, it was great.
It was great. Are you kidding?
It really was. The first one was great.
Oh, Angie, I just lost some.
No, I said it was great. She didn't say.
I was going to say. I think I'm thinking a little different.
So, how did you decide that you were going to be a film producer? Like, and how did you actually get involved in it? And where did you make your films? You didn't live here then, so you.
No, I lived in Michigan. I grew up. We didn't have a ton of money. My parents met in martial arts school.
Oh, cool.
So it's really strange. Yeah. And then my mom was really into TM, Transcendental Meditation. So we were kind of like kind of hippie-ish, kind of not.
That's nice.
We never had money. So every week we go 2, sometimes 3 times to the movies because it was so cheap. And then movie theaters, there's only one theater in each thing. It's not like you could go to a theater and see 6 movies.
Right. We didn't have that when we were little.
Right. And it was all different. So we went to so many things. And then my parents, they would take me to see lots of horror movies, but lots of movies like the re-releases of all the Hitchcock movies I got to see. And then all of the re-releases and movies of Akira Kurosawa, like one of my very favorites. So they are the ones that it was their vacation away, but they actually turned it into something important to me. But my father said when I was young, because he was, a little toxic masculinity there, I couldn't be a director because I was a girl. So watching all these movies, and we're watching a Roger Corman movie called Humanoids from the Deep.
Yeah, great. Yes.
The director comes up and says, Barbara Peterson. And I look over and that is not a boy. And then, of course, Sam Raimi comes from Michigan, so I saw the very precursors of Evil Dead, even before it was released, how they made it in the paper and everything. So I was fascinated with all of that. So that's why I went into effects and makeup and writing and everything.
I love it. So now is your name Tommy because that way people think you're a boy when you're directing, or you just...
My mom, I was born in 1970, and my mom was a Who fan. So
Tommy, the Who.
For Tommy. My cousin, she got Layla. What's a cooler name? But my cousin, he got Jeremiah because of Joy to the World,
I love that movie.
It's a very good movie.
And it starred that beautiful redhead. What was her name? That beautiful girl. The star of it in Tommy. Oh, I can't. The Elvis Presley. She went out with Elvis. What the hell is her name? That beautiful redhead.
I don't remember, but
she's a dancer. She was in so many movies. Why can't I think of her name? It'll come.
Oliver Reed's wife in it or something. I don't remember.
She went out with Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
And they dated him and they were good friends. My favorite story when people say to me, what was one of the most exciting things in your life was being with Jane Russell, holding hands with her in a movie theater, watching Gentlemen Prefer Blondes at a fair, because Jane and I were best friends for many years. And I was her escort and I took her to the premiere of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, but years later. So what was your most exciting, thrilling?
Well, I guess it's exciting for me because it's what drove my career after a while. So I came out to the Fangoria convention when they used to have them here at the Burbank place. And it was a meeting, you can meet and greet Wes Craven. So I sat in line and I, did my meet and greet, and he was so nice, such a kind man. signing my things. And I said, I've made a couple movies. Can you give me some advice of being a new filmmaker of what to do? And he looks at me, he goes, that's great. You made a couple movies. He goes, now just don't quit. And then he moved on to the next person. And I was so mad because I'm like, that's it? That's all I get? But then
that's
for
provocative.
the rest of my life, all I could think of when things got hard is him telling me, now just don't quit.
Very, very cool. And
I would have told you the same thing had you asked.
But at the moment, you're like angry, But then afterwards, I think about it all the time. If
you said you made a few movies, my answer would have been, then don't quit, make a lot more. That's wonderful. Positive.
For a long time. It stuck with me for a long time.
Wonderful answer. Very positive. Yeah, I like that answer.
I've been fortunate. I've met all the people so I've met Sam Raimi, I've met Roger Corman, I've met Wes Craven.
Roger Corman. I met that guy somewhere.
Yeah, you met him too. Not with me though.
He started a lot of careers.
Who is he? What's Roger Corman?
Director.
He's a director. Yeah, but he did like the Little Shop of Horrors, the originals, all of the very, very Yes,
I think he went out with a friend of mine.
And he was in Silence of the Lambs because he got Joe Dante.
I know this man. I know Roger Corman.
Joe Dante.
Was it Joe Dante? I don't think it was Joe Dante. No, he did Philadelphia.
I forgot who that is.
I better keep my mouth.
Jonathan Demme, right?
Yes.
I have to keep my
He
mouth
got started. That's why he plays an FBI agent in there. So you see him just like you see Lloyd Kaufman in other people's movies, like James Gunn movies.
Because so funny, Lloyd Kaufman, when I first started this show, he was one of my very first guests.
He's a great guy.
I want to clear something up. Roger Corman, I might be mistaken because he might have been married. So when I said he was dating a girl that I knew, that's a mistake. I don't want to get him in trouble with his wife. So Roger, that was an error. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea. My best friend who was madly in love with you, who you dumped and broke her heart. But anyway,
my favorite.
Yes, Roger Corman. I know who he is.
My favorite event, because I lived in Florida for many years, and we used to have this thing called Spooky Empire Scream Fest.
Oh, I know Pete down at Spooky. I know a lot of the had people that had.
So I used to go to all of those, and I was a clothing designer back then, and I would give clothes to the celebrities, and so I met Clive Barker, and I asked him if he wanted to come to the road and look at the clothes, and he didn't say anything. He said he really didn't think he could do it. But then I got Doug Bradley, who's a good friend of mine.
Clive Barker, another name I know.
Hang on, and so Clive Barker called me at like midnight and said, "Hey, would it be possible for me to come?" And I was at the VIP bar. I said, "Sure." So he came to the room with his husband at the time. And he literally sat in the room for 7 hours telling us stories, taking pictures, telling us stories. And he gave me one of his books, and he drew a one-of-a-kind drawing in the book for me. It's one of my prized possessions because Clive Barker, next to
one of my
Stephen
favorites
King,
too. Yeah, me too.
How did I meet him? How do I know?
You don't know him, but you've heard about his movies.
Hellraiser. He wrote
Barker.
Yeah.
He's probably the second biggest person in horror.
Well, I had a whole reunion with him and all the Cenobites a few years ago.
I'm friends with all of them. Barbie Wild and Simon.
She's sweet.
Nicholas Bamford and Simon. We're friends. Nicholas Vince and Simon Bamford. We're friends with all of them. They've all been on the show. So let's talk a little bit about you.
I want to say something. I'm in the business 64 years. I've met everybody. In 64 years, you do get to meet tons of people. And I'm very bad with names. Faces I remember, names I don't. That's why everybody is honey, darling, sweetheart. When I see you Friday, think I'm going to remember your name?
Yeah, you will, because it's Tommy.
Maybe I will, because Tommy was my best friend. I had a friend named Tommy. But if not, I'll say Honey Bun.
Yeah.
You're Honey Bun. Hi, Honey Bun.
That's endearing. That makes me happy.
So you guys can go to MotorCityNightmares.com. The next one is coming up. I took it off the website. I hope the information is correct. July 28th to July 30th in Novi, Michigan.
Yeah. Yep. Novi. Yep.
Novi, Michigan. And so far, you've only announced one guest, Bruce Campbell.
And on Facebook, I've announced Ted Raimi and Dee Wallace, Robert, the brother from E.T., and Henry Thomas.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I do have a bunch of contracts out right now, so hopefully, because it's my 15-year reunion, so I'm trying to do, some groups of people. So
Oh no, I think that's like awesome. So some of the past guests, you guys, and this is just from last year, and I know a lot of these people: Ken Forey, Melanie Kinnaman, Brad Greenquist, Charles Cyphers, Miko Hughes. I love Miko Hughes. Alice Krieg. Is that how you pronounce her name, Krieg?
yes, she's the Borg. She's one of my very favorite actresses.
I want to get her on the show. I just started following her on Instagram to see if we can get her on the show, because wasn't she the mom in that movie about the cats where they're like
Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, Sleepwalkers. And I was like, when I saw her, and I was like, oh my God,
She was the
Sleepwalkers.
woman in Ghost Story with, that movie Ghost Story. That was
Yes.
a really great movie. She's been in so much.
I love her. Cooper Andrews, Tom Savini, who's been on the show, Kathleen Kinmont, Stephen Jeffries has been on the show, Nancy Loomis, John Abrahams, which I love. I want to get him on our show too. I
Really fun.
wrote down the people from your list, and I was like, I'm going to follow all these people on Instagram. Eugene Clark. We met Eugene Clark in New York at
Yeah, he's Big Daddy.
we met him with the same night we met Jason Finney in that snowstorm at that convention where they invited us to come for dinner.
I remember.
It was freaking
We
like
went,
awesome.
we went to dinner.
So I've had Toby Hooper at my shows.
That's a big one.
George Romero. His last show was my show.
Oh my God, he was so nice. I met him at Spooky Empire.
Yeah.
Do you have like a person who's like exceeded all your expectations that they were so cool?
Actually, it was probably George Romero was one of them. Clive Barker, another one. But there's so many that have done that. But then there's those few that I would never have back at my show again, and I can't say who they are.
I can tell you who a bunch of them are.
Well, we've got a couple that will never be on our show.
Yeah. So.
I mean, talk about bad.
Yeah, but no, I've had one of my all-time favorites is Dee Wallace, because
she's
her and I,
great.
we have a connection even deeper than just the show, because she's in one of my movies, but also she does these healing and manifestation things, and she's done some classes with me, and I never really believed in that stuff until her. She literally helped me and changed my life.
We're also friends with her daughter.
Oh, Gabby. Oh, yeah. Her book helped me too after I was getting divorced, because she had
the same thing happen.
similar thing. Yeah.
We met her on
but I love them so much.
Oh no, I think they're fabulous, and
I think so also.
I tell you, I have
usually mother and daughter are envious of each other or jealous.
No, they love
They love each other.
So
They're happy for each other.
Yeah, always.
Augie Duke. Augie Duke's mom is an actress. You know who Augie Duke is?
No.
Oh, she's a horror star, big actress, very wonderful actress, and beautiful girl.
She was in Bad Kids Go to Hell.
Augie Duke is an
back in the day.
excellent actress.
Yeah,
she and her mom get along beautifully, and her mom was a soap star, and Augie. So it does happen.
So you guys, you can go to MotorCityNightmares.com. You can also follow Tommy on Instagram. It's at Tommy Brunswick.
Not Instagram. No, I don't. I am old, and I just do the Facebook. That Instagram, but I don't know how the hell to use it.
Oh my gosh, because you have two of them.
I know I put them up there before, but I have no idea. I haven't done it.
I'll teach you how to do it.
All
if you
I
want.
do is Facebook too. I don't do that.
I'll teach you how to do it if you want. But
TikTok,
obviously,
fuck my cock.
I know, but if people even teach me, it's like the time to do that. I'm like, I just do the Facebook.
I'm doing them all. I do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Call it the Facebook because I'm old.
Yes, Facebook.
I have 5,000 friends on Facebook.
You can't have any more than that. I know they have to take.
You think I know who these 5,000 people are? No. I
but
maybe know about maybe 50 of them. I know maybe 50 of them. The rest I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of mine, so I got lucky. So
I got hacked and I had to start over. So now I know all of mine because I didn't redo it with all the people, because I get more likes now with 2,000 followers than I got with 5,000.
Yeah, because before it was a lot of bots too, or, things
actually like people who are engaged. So I like it so much better. So tell me, what are some of your favorite horror movies?
Well, of course, Humanoids from the Deep is definitely one of them, because because of that iconic moment in my life. You know,
Yeah.
that was a big thing. But I love so many movies. Of course, like Nightbreed is probably one of my very favorites. It's a Clive
Nightbreed.
Barker one from his book Cabal, because for me, I love the whole creature mythos. And that's what Clive Barker, because in I'm doing a TV series, and in the series I'm building new worlds. And that's what I love to do. Like take, you know, fantasy, kind of like Grimm. If you ever see Grimm,
Yes.
Supernatural. I want it to be something like that, something that can go on CW, because Supernatural's gone and you need a new thing in there. So I got Whitman's Goblin is what I'm hoping to put in there.
Good for you. No, that's terrific. I
Yeah.
think that's fabulous. Like I like all the Clive Barker stuff. Like actually, you know Clive Barker also because we watched one movie, Midnight Meat Train. You watched Midnight Meat Train.
No, but I've met him somewhere in the world. I know the name Clive
Yeah.
Barker. I know the name. I know.
Yeah.
I don't. He's not my friend.
He is.
never-
He was one of the sweetest, kindest men, but writes the scary
I-
shit. I'm sorry. Shit.
But Clive Barker is skinny and weirdly dressed.
Yeah, well, he used to wear a lot of my clothes. I have a picture of him in my clothes when I was a clothing designer in the.
So he was
in
not
the room.
traditional. He didn't look like
He's
Cary
very.
Grant.
He's
And
a cool.
he likes you. He likes you. He's one of those really cool people. Very nice people.
I don't think I met him long enough for him to like or dislike. I think it was, this is who he is. How do you do? Nice. 2 minutes work.
He was like,
You know.
when he was at Spooky Empire, the line was 6
I
blocks
probably
long.
met him at a
Yeah, we had a good show. In fact, we had to have a whole room because of his artwork. So he got a whole room just for himself for his museum too.
So now, how hard
Oh,
is
wait
it?
a minute. Go back with that. He paints?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he paints. He writes. He does
Oh, wait a
movies.
minute. Wait a minute. He paints. Did he have a showing in LA or somewhere?
He might have, but it probably was a while ago because he's
It was a while ago. I'm talking, I'm
it
100.
was a while
So,
ago.
you know, I go back 100
He's a
years.
super famous artist. His paintings are fucking sell
Oh,
for a ton
yes,
of
yes,
money.
yes.
I'll show you later.
Yeah.
I went to he was on Robertson Boulevard in a gallery where he was showing his work about 1972.
Could be because he's in the age group that he could
I
do
think
that.
that's where I
Yeah.
met him.
Yeah.
And I remember his work.
Anyway, let's okay, so let's, as a director, because I always I have this one question I ask everybody, but since you're not an actor, we'll switch it around. As a director, if you could have ever directed any movie that's ever been made, what movie would you have liked to have directed?
Okay, so there's this movie called Underworld, and it actually, something happened where they actually stole somebody else's story, and it is an NDA that the writer can't talk about. But I was trying to get those books of hers. They're called Sonia Blue books.
Yes.
And those were I was trying to acquire. And when that movie came out, she had to sue Sony because that was her story. So
Oh, wow.
Underworld. So
Is that the Underworld? Is that the Underworld with Kate Beckinsale?
Yep, with Kate Beckinsale. So they used her main stuff because it was a vampire that was an assassin. And I had read all her books. I've got the books in the mystery annex on Venice Beach. You know, when you walk on Venice Beach, there's this little bookstore, and you go back, and it used to be called the Mystery Annex, and they had all these indie books there. So I bought a few of them, and that's where I found the Sonia Blue series by Nancy Collins.
Oh, that's
So that would be it, because I would want to make it what the books were. I mean, the movies were whatever, you know, they're good, but the books, the content was amazing with great characters and building, you know, all of these different things.
it's
so
kind of
that's-
bad though because the movie.
It was called Underworld, but I would have called it Sunglasses After Dark. So
They really got, because it gets worse and worse. Like the movies were like the first one was good, but as they went along,
right, it was just her base story that they took it from, and then you know,
Shitty.
someone paid her off, so she couldn't talk about it very much. So you know, hopefully, I'm not getting in trouble.
I think that it would be very cool. I mean,
So it would be that, because it's another world building thing. You know, you could create all of these different worlds. I like, you know, the vampire mythos and the werewolves, you know, so.
so what's the name of? Are you allowed to tell us the name of the TV pilot that you're doing?
Yeah, well, I'm working. It's called Whitman's Goblin, and I
Okay.
have 5 seasons set out, and I have 2 offshoots that I can do from the series. So, but I'm also writing. We're going to make a movie from 2 characters from there called the Slaughter Sisters, because they're like assassins that go after, but they are descendants of berserkers, so they turn into creatures. So I want to make that for a very small amount, like, you know, the Clown Motel and stuff, like small amount. But I'm going to use some of that footage to put in my pitch deck for the TV show.
No, got it. Okay.
because I know a lot of distributors that if I make a small movie, they'll distribute it. I can make the money back,
You can
and
make
then I
something
have
like
footage for my pitch deck. So
A little bit about Clown Motel. You know, it did wonderfully in Europe.
Yeah. no, it did good, and
It really was a hit.
well, I think it was distributed through ITN. I'm friends with the Stewart over at ITN, him and his wife.
Well,
So
you know, I mean, I played General Milan. I played the general
yeah,
who had to get his men to go out and kill the clowns. As I said before many times, Joe let people pay to get in the movie.
yeah.
All of my soldiers paid to get in the movie. And Angie Stevenson and I are at the pool table ready to shoot. And in
I love Amy Stevens. She's so pretty.
and she's a good actress, and I love her as a person. She's
So
she's
pretty.
one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Anyway, as my soldiers walked in, we began to scream, laughing. We couldn't stop laughing. Short, fat, ugly, old, bald, bent over, crooked. I mean, they were the most disgusting looking humans you ever saw. And they were playing my soul. Well, I figured me fellas that are in the movie, but you didn't look like soldiers.
Yeah.
I mean, out of shape wasn't the word. And I just said to Angie, this is why Hollywood has turned to shit.
Well, I shot in Michigan, so all of my crew. So one of my earlier movies was Mr. Jingles, which is a clown movie, and it was released through Lionsgate, and it's the same. I have similar to the same, but they didn't pay to get in. They just look like.
Yeah,
They just look like
I'm in about 4 Lionsgate clown movies, and it's enough. No more clown movies. Although Joe Kelly's got me coming back in Clown Motel '99, and he's got me. And I don't know that I'm going to be in. If they make a sequel to Clowny, I don't think so, and I can't give away why. But
Okay.
unless I come back as a ghost,
Yeah.
I like it. So
so I have a lot of work ahead of me.
The
It's
Slaughter
fun.
Sisters movie has a demon that eats pedophiles, so
that's
I
good.
like creatures to be like, kind of like sharks. They're just doing what they do. They're really not super bad.
Do you
People say to me, "Do you watch yourself in your films?" And I say, "No, I hate horror movies. I never watch horror movies at all."
Actually, a lot of horror actors are exactly like that, because all of the ones that I know, they don't like horror that much either.
No, I find
I love it.
horror movies are
I love
cheesy, very cheesy, stupid, the same old crap over and over again. And we're no longer afraid of werewolves and vampires because today, with the violence going on in our cities, we're afraid to go out in the street and get shot. So you think Dracula's going to frighten me? No way.
No, but good, crafted movies like Get Out or Black Phone. Some of those
Yeah, I
are
like Black
really-
Phone a lot.
Yeah.
I thought Black Phone was
No,
done very
good
well, and it was
move.
different. We hadn't seen it yet.
Good
Yeah.
movies like The Night of the Living Dead, the original.
Oh yeah, of course. I love that. Yeah, of course. When they were going to first screen it, because they had a black actor, they were putting the film reels in their trunk when they heard Martin Luther King was shot.
Yeah.
Because George Romero tells that story all the time, because his movie had a black lead, so it
And
was
my
like
other
so
favorite-
important at the time.
My other favorite horror movie is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Oh yeah, I like Psycho.
They don't make them like that. As I told all the producers I know, can't we get quality in our horror movies? Why must they always be cheesy looking? And why must there always be tits and ass in it? You always got to have girls with fake boobs in a pool.
You don't have to. Mine don't really have that. My girls mostly have regular boobs.
Can't we have actors Can't we have actors anymore? Doesn't anybody want to act, portray, become? Why is it they act like themselves? Like, as I meet them at red carpets and on film, they're identical. Nobody acts. And I think that's what's wrong with film today. Hollywood's in bad shape. Atlanta is big. Atlanta's the new Hollywood.
Because of Tyler Perry, it's all him.
Tyler Perry is probably
Genius. He's a
the
genius.
genius of our time. He's
Yeah.
the black Steven Spielberg. He
Yeah.
is wonderful.
But Georgia also has a good tax credit, so
Yeah.
it works both for them. Because in Michigan, they used to have a really good tax credit, and when it tanked, all of the movies I was working on tanked at the same time.
I
So
would kill to work in a Tyler movie.
yeah.
I love his Medea.
I have several films.
Oh, when he does, I have never missed a Medea.
Oh my gosh, the Medea premieres in Michigan, they were out of this world. People around the theaters and stuff.
I
It was
love
crazy.
He is absolutely wonderful as Medea. I
Yeah.
love Medea.
We
That's
have-
good film. That's fun.
We have several films that are going to be shooting.
But I want to
that I'm
go. I
producing
want to
that are
go
gonna
to
shoot in
Atlanta. I keep telling Jimmy, let's go to Atlanta and get work. I'm dying to work in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I love it though. I think it's all
I thought
terrific.
Did you say we have a film we're going to do in Atlanta?
Yes, we have two.
2 films in Atlanta, so I'm looking forward.
So yeah,
Awesome.
it'll be a lot of fun. So
Well,
do you know? Oh wait, what's his
Go ahead.
name? I forgot his name. Oh shit, I forgot his name. I was gonna say because I forgot where. I think he's from Kansas City though, or someplace. But there's another horror movie because there's a whole group of people who make low budget indie horror films that do really well.
Yeah. I know a lot of them. I know Sarah French and Joe Netter and Marcel Waltz.
Yes, very well.
The 3 of my most delicious, wonderful
Oh, I
friends.
was at that premiere.
I
too.
love and adore Mark.
That's
Mark-
the rap, right? I just was at.
Oh
Marcel-
yes, were you there? Okay, yeah, that's what I recognize you from. That
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay.
Marcel Waltz is
Go
probably.
and watch the movie, and I sneak out and leave usually.
But you just gave me 3 names that I love so much. I'm very
Yeah,
close.
I love them. I love
We're
them.
very close. We're
Great
very
people.
close with them.
I knew Joe Netter back in the day when he was trouble. He was. He used to always make sure everyone could see his dick and balls.
Really?
Every convention we went to, it was so funny. He'd be next, but he used a lot of recreational stuff. He was so funny, but he's such a brilliant writer. You know what I mean? It's like
Absolutely.
he is so funny though, and if you get when you get to know him really well, he's super sarcastic, and it's just every time I'm sitting with him, he just says something under his breath that makes me laugh so hard.
I found Joe Nitter to be one of the most honest people I've ever met.
Yes.
He tells it like it is, and he
Exactly.
talks about people in our business who have
Yeah.
tried to fuck him over.
Yeah,
And we have a lot of stories about some creeps out there that I'm still dealing with.
yeah,
Some horrible makeup people that are not nice in the business. They're losing business because their name is just so terrible. If you know who I'm talking about. Anyway,
it's really, but that's okay. You don't have to say.
Joe Nitter,
We can't say anyway.
No, Joe Nitter, Marcel, and Sarah.
Fabulous.
have come-
Oh yeah, they're great people.
No, they've come to my defense,
Yeah,
and they're wonderful people. I
They're
love-
also though those are
love them.
people. Those are like so their budget movies are higher budget. I mean, because like I have friends that make like $20,000 movies that
Right.
sell them and they do $200,000 and that's a home run.
yeah.
They like make money and.
It's Terrifier and Terrifier 2.
Oh, look at Terrifier. Let's see. Now I didn't even think the first Terrifier was good. I mean, it was okay. I didn't see the
It's
second one yet.
But you know what they did is they're genius marketers. They went to all of the conventions and they brought all of these people to them to have this fan base that when they released it and they put it in theaters, everyone went.
I'm
so-
going to try to do the same
They did
thing.
like four-walling, like you used to four-wall movies. They did this with the convention in marketing wise. They were genius about that.
You know what? I think I'm going to have a little dinner party. I'm inviting you. I'm inviting Michelle Kanan, who's a fabulous director. That's Sean Kanan's wife, and Ray Reza, and Franco. I'm going to invite just producers and directors, a small dinner party. I think you guys should know each other. Maybe if you network.
Actually, they're all going to be
I'm
there
speaking.
Friday.
See, the mouth is moving. Oh my God, I hate him.
They're all going to be
Could
there
you lend
Friday.
me? Could you lend me $3,000 so I could divorce this jerk?
No, they're all going to be there Wednesday. I mean, Friday. They'll all be there. I can introduce her to
Yeah,
people
but you're going to
Friday.
introduce him with 300 people in the
Well, I
lobby.
know, but
Hey, it would be nicer if we could do an intimate thing because I'm always food.
Yeah, I think if all of you, because I think you're good. I don't know for sure, but my hunch is you're good. And Michelle Kanan is a fabulous director, fabulous writer. She started Studio City. She's directing my movie, The Curse of Magic,
I'd
because
love to meet her.
I need her in that film.
she's
So
directing my
I think
trilogy,
if we have
Dog Moon.
we'll have Sean Kanan, Michelle, you, and Reza, and Franco, and Reza's brother, and we'll have a lovely dinner party, and you all can maybe come up with a good film between all of you. Maybe
That would be awesome.
wouldn't it be nice to make a good one for a change?
It
Woo.
would. It would. It would.
I'm going to work on that.
So real quick, how does everybody find you on Facebook?
You can Motor City Nightmares or just Tommy Brunswick.
There you go, Motor City Nightmares, you guys, because she's not going to want to add everybody because she
You
doesn't
don't
know
mind
who you are.
driving, Tommy. You don't mind driving out to Palm Springs.
No, I can figure it out.
Easy. We do it all the
We
time.
cannot put you up because we don't have a guest room.
That's fine.
He took it over with his horror dolls.
I have,
Oh, we got a museum here. You got
I
to
have a
see it.
museum of horror movies.
The horror
actually.
museum.
I love it though. That's my favorite.
Yeah, you will like it.
What I like about it is everything is covered in 3 inches of dust.
That's all right. We'll come there with the
I said,
duster.
you never dust the dolls. You got
I
all
dust them only once a year.
Dolls are action figures.
That's right, the action figures. Thank you.
I call them dolls.
And I've got these ones. All right, you guys. So follow Tommy. Check out her films that we talked about. She's going to get them re-released soon, and we're going to see her Friday at Bermuda Island because we've got our second guest coming on. But we want to thank you for coming on. It was such a pleasure. I'm so happy that I do know you, and I can't wait to give you a big hug on Friday. So we'll see you on Friday.
And now we'll get to
And
know
thank
you.
Angela Joseph for setting this up.
Now we'll even get to know you better.
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
I think you're sensational.
Thank you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
We'll see in the long run.
Yeah.
Love you. All right. Thanks, Tommy. We'll see you
Bye-bye,
Friday.
Tommy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for a good show, honey.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, we're going to do a real quick music break. Here is the Nicotine Dolls, What Makes You Sad, and then we're coming back with our next guest, Nicole Vegas. Enjoy.
Talk to me. She wants to know what's soft inside that's tearing me up into the pieces on the floor, you see. I don't have an answer for you now. Just go around to find a reason. Tell me what makes you sad. Tell me what makes you sad. You said tell me what makes you sad. Oh, tell me what makes you sad. Every breath and step and word that's falling out of me, it's like a hammer to the knees of who I wanna be. Somebody who's easy to be around. My adjective is overwhelming. Tell me what makes you sad. Tell me what makes you sad. You said tell me what makes you sad. Oh, tell me what makes. I said, well, it's more than you know. It's more than you know. It's more than you know. It's more than you. If I say too much, you'll realize you made a choice in loving me. You regret. You run away from the falling house into another person's arms. Straight into stronger hearts. I wouldn't break your heart. If I was you, I'd fall apart next to this bleeding, bruising heart on a wall in a room no one wants to walk in. You leave me hanging it open. Tell me what makes you sad. Tell me what makes you sad. You said tell me what makes you sad. Oh, tell me what makes. I said, well, it's more than you know. It's more than you know. Oh, it's more than you know. It's more than you. Tell me what makes you sad.
Yay, we're back, everybody. So that was the Nicotine Dolls. The name of the song was What Makes You Sad. It's one of my favorite songs. And now we're going to bring on our second guest, Her name is Nicole Vegas. So let's bring her on and say hello.
Woo! Well,
Hey!
oh, I see something in the background.
Wow, look at this sexy girl.
How you doing?
Look at you, my dear. You're melting
Oh my
our.
gosh, thank you so much for having me.
It's going to be great. So you look
I'm
fabulous.
kind of dressed up today.
Yeah, you look fabulous.
Thank
You're-
you.
you're
It's one of my
absolutely-
friends' boutiques, Melandra Boutique. So I love her dresses. They're always good for the red carpets too.
You're melting our camera lens.
Oh, that much. And over here I'm freezing. I had to warm up some tea here.
Wait, hang on. Let me make an introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented and beautiful Nicole Vegas. Hello and welcome to
Thank
the
you so much.
show.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited. I don't know, a lot of people realize that I've been in the show business. Next month will be 2 years.
And you've
2
done a
years
lot
in
of
this
shit.
showbiz industry. It's a lot of work. Actually, all work, and then eventually you get to see something on the big screen.
So this is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host Ron Russell, who's also my husband.
Unfortunately,
Oh.
could you loan me some money? I want to divorce him.
Oh no, no divorcing. You're in it for the long haul. I've been with
Well, I'm 82
for
years old. What
25
kind
years.
of long? I'm 82. What long ride? If I got 3 or 4 left, I'm lucky.
You guys have so much fun together, and you bring so much good energy. And one of these days, I'll see you on one of the red carpets.
Oh no, absolutely.
Absolutely. Come Friday. Are you in LA?
No, I won't be going Friday.
Where
She's
are
in
you?
Las Vegas.
Another time, maybe on the upcoming one that I'm doing. I actually have a film I'm putting together called Desert Fiends. It's a horror film, so it was really cool that you got to interview someone that does those conventions.
Yes,
That's
oh
my-
yeah, we love her, and she'll be there
Who?
Friday. She said it was cool that we got to interview the girl with the convention. She's a movie coming out. We'll talk about it in a minute. First of all, say hi to the chat room. We have a chat room full of people.
Oh,
So
that-
say hi.
I don't see it though. I can't see anybody. I don't know. I can't see anything that pops up. So you'll have to let
No,
me know.
actually, if where you wrote thank you, if you look up there, that says private chat. If you click to the right, it says comments, and I think you can see them there. But either way, you don't have to see them because I'm going to read them to you anyway as we're going along. So you guys, first of all, if you want to follow Nicole, she's on Instagram at Nicole_Butler Vegas. She has a very interesting story. Like she said, she's only been in the entertainment industry for 2 years, but she was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and she was in the Air Force Security Forces, and she's proficient in combat arms, self-defense, and law enforcement tactics, which I think is so cool because you look like a supermodel. And so, like, I like to watch you, like, you know.
It's confusing to a lot of people. They're just, but then when they see me in action, and I used to be a cop too in North Las Vegas, so my hair pulled back. It's just a different look. Contain
Oh, wait.
style. It's very confusing to
Wait.
them.
Were you in the Navy?
I was in the Air Force. I was
Oh,
deployed.
I thought you were in the Navy because I saw these 2 huge torpedoes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it is the dress, you know. At first, I was going to have a dress up to here so they could stay focused.
No. We have a fan in England.
Who's not here today.
He's not here today, and he's going to kill himself because whenever we have a beautiful, sexy blonde on, he goes crazy.
Oh, well, maybe it's for the best then. We don't want anybody having any injuries, you know.
No, really.
Injuries.
No, he does. He passes out. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't want anybody having any injuries. Maybe prepare him, give him like one of those helmets, you know, so he doesn't have any injuries to his head. You know? I don't know what to say.
well,
I've
he
had
lives in,
people actually
he-
fall
he
around
lives-
that set. Actually, it's happened. They
Well,
literally fell near me, like literally fell down to the ground. So we don't
Okay.
have
Hang
injuries.
on. Go, Ron.
this fan lives in London. Let's give him a shout out.
Oh.
In case.
Hey, what's Dave from Stars Now UK? Dave. I only know his
Dave
Hughes. That's it. Dave Hughes.
Hughes.
Dave, you have to watch this. I'll tweet it to him and tell him. he has to
Just
watch
send
it.
him a kiss because
Say
he'll
hi, Dave.
good. He'll watch us. He'll see us on. He'll see the show on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So I have a question for you. So you were a police officer. You did all these things. How did you decide? And you live. I don't know. And you lived in Las Vegas. How did you decide? Okay, now I think I'm going to go like work in the movie industry.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be like this, like the work behind it. You know, most people that never done anything I was like, oh, it's easy. I'll just be on set. but I wanted to build a community connection because I did a lot of nonprofits in the last 12 years. I donate a lot of my time and services to connecting people to the resources they need. That's my passion. So I felt that I could build a platform through showbiz. I just didn't realize how much work and energy and time and dedication and craziness. There's a lot that goes on, as you know.
Yes, we know.
I bet a lot of the men that you arrested couldn't wait to be handcuffed by you.
You know, now with that, you know, you don't want to be in that cop car though.
You didn't get it.
Those handcuffs, I do clean them, but the idea looks good. But then the whole behind the scene,
No, but the joke is, you know, how men like to have sex with handcuffs. That was the joke. It didn't play, so we'll dump it.
Oh my gosh, that's no, but I did enjoy. It was a hard career field. I mean, the things that you have to see, the suicides, the domestics, the sexual assault, it's all day, every day. So, and I have a family, and I did end up resigning, and I had job guilt then for 2 years. It was such a horrible feeling that I couldn't do both. Something had to give. The bad was outweighing the good for me, especially I have 3 boys. The 2 are grown now that are going to be 28 and 22 years old.
You have a 28-year-old son?
What?
You have a 28-year-old son?
Yes,
Well, you look like you're 28.
It's the good lighting, you know. I didn't know how this was going to turn out, but it's all in the lighting and makeup.
Now listen, did you ever shoot anybody? Did you ever
I
shoot
did, but I've always had my gun out. So there's like the 3 C's: contain, control, and communicate.
Well, tell us why and how. Why did you shoot somebody? What's the story?
No, I didn't shoot anybody.
Oh, you didn't.
I just had my gun out. That's a lot of paperwork.
You said there's 3 C's. You bring your gun out: contain, control, and what was the other one?
Communicate. So
Communicate.
when someone heads south, a lot of people panic. They don't know. They lose their head. You got to see where the exit is. You know, with the thing that happened out here on October 1st, you know, with that massacre at Mandalay Bay, that was pandemonium. There's a lot of people that are in the first responders that are able to help out when something heads south. It's really important. That's what helped me on the sets too. I was able to do PA really well, slate, grip, learning AD. It's be able to work together as a team. I think you need to have some type of background, especially if you go into this industry. What can you bring? How can you help people out? Get it done. And once in a while, look nice. See, I cleaned up nice sometimes. Sometimes mess, big old mess.
What made you decide to be an actress from being a cop?
Well, I resigned 6 years ago, so it wasn't just going right into actress. I ended up helping somebody up on set, and I didn't even know anything about PA work. I know I helped watch a dog and like pooped on me, so I was like, I don't know if I like PA work so much. It wasn't so great and glamorous. But then I got to connect with Julie Goldman, and she does casting out here, and I got to go on The Cleaning Lady. It was my first set.
Oh, that's a cool show.
The Cleaning Lady, Warner Brothers. It's a TV series. Really great people. But they bought me. They gave me my first Taft Hartley. They paired me with this really young guy. And I'm like, I was confused. I did say it out loud. I'm like, is this a cougar scene? I was like, I'm really confused right now. I said, I'm your mother's age. I said, don't even get fresh with me, but I'm going to hold your arm because they're like, go to Mark 2. I'm like, what are they saying to me? Reset. It was a long 12 hours on top of Dre's nightclub. But then they had me back for Precision Driver. I ended up getting my son that's 11 years old on there. That was really cool. Trying to get him on this stuff because the other 2 boys are grown. The one's 7 week into Marine boot camp. That's a tough.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and then the other one's a pilot in the Air Force. So I just want them to drop off their old.
Well, they all followed you then. They all followed you into the Air Force.
Or military. Yeah, they like that. Yeah, I'm proud of them. I just told them don't get married till 30. I'm like, I'm a mom. Don't get married till 30. Don't do it to me. You know, don't make me a grandma yet. You know, like I'm still raising one younger one left, and that young one, there's something with the last one that really challenges your motherhood. I'm like, wow. Wow, some of the things I feel like I'm traumatized for a bit. He just really, each one.
So I know that you've worked. So we'll talk in a little bit about Desert Fiends. I want to bring up, since we're going to go to a Mahal Brothers thing, that you're a PA on Arena Wars. You were a PA on Arena Wars, and we know all these people. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's Desert Fiends. We'll go back to that one in a second. So, Arena Wars has Michael Madsen, Eric Roberts, Robert Lasardo, John Wells, BJ Mezek, Robert Donovan, and Sherry Davis. We're friends with all of them. And
Good.
except for
Yeah,
Robert-
I enjoy them all. We have Robert Lazardo coming on this Desert Fiend one, which is really I'm so excited. Yeah, I did PA first. Michael Mahal tried to have me audition for Arena Wars, and I was so new. I didn't know how to audition, so I reached out to an acting coach, and he wasn't available. And just time went by, and I missed the opportunity. And then I got an opportunity to do like the stunts and background. But then my husband went away, so I had my youngest son, so that missed out. But then I got to be PA for a day. I was like, oh my goodness.
So what I want to do with that. So okay, because I actually did the teaser for it because I think our fans like all those people that are in it. And since you did get the PA on it, we're gonna play a teaser for it. It's only like a minute, so we're coming right back. So
And Sherry Davis is one of my closest
we
dearest
love
friends.
Sherry Davis.
I
I
love
love
Sherry.
her. I enjoyed her so much. Sherry Davis, I love you. We chat. She supports me in a lot. I support her back. I enjoy her. I had a good time when I did get to meet her. Had some couple laughs that I probably won't share.
That's
things
okay.
that
She wears sexy dresses. She wears sexy dresses like that too. But hang on one sec. Juan, go ahead, you guys. Here's the teaser trailer for the Mahal Brothers Arena Wars, starring all those people that we talked about, and Nicole actually worked on the set. Here it is, everybody.
Welcome to the next exciting episode of
Arena Wars.
Parole Board has offered you a ticket out. Win Arena Wars, win your freedom.
Everybody stick together.
For the first time, Arena Wars will feature an innocent contestant.
Whatever happens tonight, don't stop the show. There he is, the man of the hour. You're the new fan favorite.
Bam!
Ooh, I felt that from here.
So now is Arena Wars, is that even available? That's not out yet, right? That's coming out this year, I
I
think.
don't know. I can't speak for them. I had no idea. I hope it is. I got to see the behind the scenes though with the stunt performances, and that's why I ended up joining and taking stunt lessons. It's amazing. I love when things like that get put together. Yeah.
I have got to say something. The Mahal brothers do wonderful films. I've seen two of them: The Art of the
Art of the Dead,
The Art of the Dead, which I enjoyed, and I love Tommy Knockers. So the Mahal brothers, I think, right now, and with Marcel Waltz, his Blind and his movies are brilliant. So I would say Marcel Waltz and the brothers, the twins, are really doing good work in horror movies. I would suggest everyone see their films. They're quality films. They're good. They're made well. They're shot well. The color, the sound, everything is perfect.
Yeah, I enjoyed Michael Sue, but I was on another set and it didn't turn out so well. So I take the good with the bad.
No, Michael Sue's good. Michael Sue's movies are
Sue's
good.
awesome. And Tony Sue. I got to work with them on Death Club. I don't know if you know that with Ronnie.
Yeah, that's Ronnie's film.
Yeah.
Ben
so-
Stauber and Gene Heathen. Gene Heathen's been on the show like several times because we like love her. You know Gene Heathen.
Absolutely.
And Dustin Ardeen is in that. And so let's go real quick because I think you guys are crowdfunding for Desert Fiends, right? Starring Robert Lasardo.
Shout out to somebody, Dennis Bonella. He just put us over the 35K mark today.
You.
So I'm really happy. And the reason why we're crowdfunding, so I reached out to Michael Madison, and he wants 25K for a cameo part.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of money for
That's very cheap, darling. How about an actor that we know that has Alzheimer's and he doesn't even know his name, and he's a very famous actor, and he got I'm speaking. He got $1 million for 10 minutes of work.
No, 4 hours.
Oh, 4 hours of work.
Does he have
$1
white hair?
million for 4 hours of work, and they had to lead him on. He didn't even know who he was. He works with an earplug, and they fed him his lines. So tell me, Hollywood has not gone insane.
Well, if he has white hair, he's on. He has to have white hair though.
No, he's bald. He's a bald actor.
Oh, he is. Oh, I was hoping it was you.
Oh no, I wish he was getting $1 million for 4 hours. I'd be happy as shit.
That's what I was leading up to. I was like, does he have white hair?
No. This actor's been on TV for years and in films for years. He's in all the action movies. You know who he is. He's bald.
We can't say.
We can't say his name, but he's suffering right now from Alzheimer's.
That
And
Bruce
$1
Willis.
million for 4 hours work, which I think is ridiculous. You know, I'm fighting this thing about producers are only hiring names to get money. In other words, if you don't have a big name, you're not going to get funded. And I think that's bullshit. We have to go back to scripts. Read a script. Fund a good script to make a good movie. Any actor can be great if they're good actors. I mean, you don't need a name because most of these actors that are paid millions of dollars don't even deliver. They don't rehearse. They come on the set and they're fed lines through an earplug like Johnny Depp, and they get, or Meryl Streep, and they get millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's
I'm
ridiculous
against
how
that.
much.
I'm really against that. No, it's wasted money. I prefer the money to go to a good script. What do you think?
Well,
You, Nicole.
I have a lot of people always send me scripts like nonstop, and so I want to make sure it's copyright. It's actually their script because I'm finding out some people sent me stuff and it wasn't even theirs. And then I like if it's a good storyline, I then look to see what work they've done. If they've ever done a feature film before, because that's hard to invest with somebody that's never been in any feature films, have done no work. You wouldn't hire a doctor that doesn't have the credentials. So
No, I agree. I agree with all of
But
that.
you see, today, anybody could get in a movie. If you have a couple of $1,000, you pay the producer to be in the movie, which I think is outrageous. There are so many actors out there who are good, who have been working for years, who do not get these parts because they're given to the payola people.
So, well, with that play to pay perk, what I like about that, if they do know their lines and they do go to an acting coach, which I do have one available, I'm like, oh no, let's get you going in the right direction. I like that they have the opportunity then to learn what it's like to be on a set, work with people that have good credibility, that have been seasoned in this industry. So that part's really amazing. But if you're not knowing your lines and you're doing half butt, I don't know if you can swear on this, Bill. I don't know if you
Yeah, you can swear. Half-assed shit.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Then no. I think you need to work on who you are, build your craft, build your brand. But if there's opportunities to work with other people, absolutely, I'll love to do that. I'm usually on SAG sets and been on a union pay, but opportunities with these Indiegogo's, I was like, let me see who this is all about. Maybe I want to work with somebody. Maybe I want to connect with them. And I like global. So I just talked to somebody from UK, not David though, it's a different guy. Really, his name was Damien, and really good people in India. I just want to be more connected to people globally. So if there's opportunities for that, absolutely, we'll back them, support them. I've even volunteered to help out on set. I didn't get any pay for it, but then I got to learn.
I know so much of it is a racket. Somebody sent me a thing. If I gave them $10,000, I could work with the famous name in the movie. The name they gave me wasn't even famous. So I wrote back, baby, I've worked with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. Now, those are famous names. And guess what? I got paid. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be that you payola or pay to get in a movie, because half of the time they do it, they want to show off. They want to tell their friends they're in a movie. They don't give a shit about acting. Whereas we actors, for 64 years I'm in the business of suffering to get where I am today, okay? I suffered for 64 years, raising children, doing all kinds of shit like you do. I know what you're going through.
Paying your dues.
Paying my dues. And I deserve every movie role I have. In the 9 films I'm going to shoot this year, I'm happy. But the jerks that are paying to get in, I resent them because they stumble over the cables. They don't know their lines. They don't know how to address a camera. They don't know how to work with another star. I mean, I worked in a movie where I was a general and I had these people that were soldiers that didn't know their asses from their elbow. And that scene was very weak. And I told the director and the producer, I said, why? It's a little scene, but it's an important scene. And they said, well, they gave us $6,000 among all of to make the film. Sad. I wish that money lenders would read scripts and fund scripts.
That's what I agree. Very important. So there's things too where there's people new that want to be seen, heard, have the experience. So I connected to some of my acting coaches and talent because I feel that so they can prepare themselves, know what it's like to be in front of camera, do your character arc, learn your back history of your character.
Nobody does that, so you know that. Just like
No, no, wait a
nowadays, they
minute.
don't do back characters and character analysis
No.
and study. Like that's all stuff that you're doing,
I do.
which is great, and that's what he does.
Listen, I'm so afraid of being on a film, and the person that has to feed me a line is doing it for the first time because they're going to make me look bad. I work with professional people. We understand each other. We know when to look at each other, how to give facial expressions, but these other people don't. Tommyknockers, for number one, is a wonderful movie, but there was one scene where a woman was in it that was obviously a payola, and she ruined the scene because she wasn't acting. She was terrible. She was like reading a line. And I mean, being a professional, I noticed it. I don't think maybe the audience did, but you would notice it.
I do notice actually, and also continuity. I see it when things are misplaced or not the same. It's just
Absolutely. Continuity is important.
it is important.
Character development is important. Learn who you are. Don't learn your lines only. Learn who you are. Become who you are. Okay, it's called method, but you don't have to be crazy method like some that they live it. But when you're working, become the character. It's so much easier than just standing there and do this. You know, when I work, I was in one movie where I played a nasty cop. And you know what? I was at my desk on a telephone. You know what I did?
Pick your nose.
Because it made the scene wonderful. It made it real.
So the mannerisms and also bringing a uniqueness that, and some people don't though. That's where I think the acting classes from different actors come into play, more tools in your toolbox. The more time you're on set, the more you get comfortable and be able to feed off of other people. Sometimes people give me nothing. They don't have anything. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on my own here.
I've seen some actors who stand with their arms at their side. They do not act. They simply deliver lines. And it makes me crazy. I want to stand up in the theater and say, what the fuck is that shit all about? You know, you're just reading lines. What are you, out of your mind?
So
I don't read. Look at how we move our hands, how we move our faces, how we play with our hair in real life.
Right.
I mean, look at you shaking your shaking those 38 feet.
And then improvise
now,
on
hang
it.
on. I want to brag a little, okay? Because for 2 years you've done a lot. First of all, you were on 2 episodes of CSI Vegas, but I wrote down some of the films that you've worked on, and I wrote down some of the people in them because Ron and I know these people. Like you did Pay to Die. Eugenia Kuzmina is a good friend of ours. James Duval, Sean Phillips. They've all been on our show.
I love
Ken
Eugenia.
Davician, Angel Salazar, Robert Miano, Douglas Tate. We know all of them.
And I enjoy them so much. A lot of them are going to be on this Desert Fiends.
Yes, I saw that.
The first time I met Eugenia, I couldn't stop looking at her. She hadn't any makeup on and her hair was hanging, and she was probably one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen. Eugenia Kuzmina is really a beauty. I haven't seen her work yet.
Then
one movie I saw her in, and the movie was bad, but she was good.
So you also have a movie, Woods Witch. It's a horror comedy with Sally Kirkland.
Oh, Sally is
a good friend of his.
I love Sally.
Lisa Wilcox has been on the show. Tom Sizemore, James Duval, Kelly Lynn Ryder, Robert Lasardo, and Ken Davician. Like we've mentioned Death Club because I think it's just getting ready to come out, right?
It did. Yeah, I saw the movie premiere. They just did such a great job. I mean, that was an all-star team I was on. The cast and crew chemistry was phenomenal. I chased that again to have something like I did on that set with them. Neil Patel is actually doing the Bollywood Hollywood Las Vegas Film Festival. He's putting something together, which I'll be a judge on. So there's a lot of opportunities. It's just getting connected and what can I bring? How can I help out? How can I make it better?
Well, you also in because you're in. Oh, go ahead.
Did you have scenes with Sally Kirkland?
I didn't have scenes with her. No.
Shame. She's an Academy
Award-winning actress.
She's just a brilliant actress, and she's a teacher also.
She's also you were in William Baldwin's like TV series, The Trouble, right? I saw that was on.
William McNamara. Yeah, it's a TV series, The Trouble with Billy. I had a small cameo part, and that was really cool to be part of that.
We had him on the show when he was. We had him on the show when he was developing it, and a lot of cool people are in that. William McNamara, Tom Sizemore, Angus McFadden, Robert Wagner, Gianni Capaldi.
We know half of those people.
Costas Mandalore, Paul Van Victor, Randall Batinkoff, Sally Kirkland, like half of those people have all been on the show. And you have a show, right? Like I forgot. Like, so you have a show called Vegas Views.
But I want to ask you another question. Hold it before we go over. Did you call yourself Vegas because you love Las Vegas so much?
Well, I actually changed that when I was in law enforcement, so people couldn't track my last name. So I guess it stuck because my name is actually Nicole Butler. On my IMDb page, it says Nicole Butler, but now I have to go Nicole Butler Vegas. Somehow, it's almost like being married now into that name.
I like that. Nicole Vegas is catchy, better than Butler. Nicole Vegas, I could remember.
Yeah,
No, really. I changed my name to Russell because of my buddy Jane. Jane Russell was my best friend, so I took her name when I was a kid. My name was too Italian, and Ron Russell works. It's easy to remember. You have to know some of these names today. They use their real names, and I can't pronounce them. Like Eugenia Kuzmina. You know, that's a difficult one.
Yeah, I'm not actually Jimmy Starr, so like Jimmy
Starr.
He's
not. His real name was Mary Dugan.
Yeah, right. No, so tell us. So you have a talk show called Vegas Views, and you do it in Las Vegas. And what's the premise of the show?
It's just connecting people, the talent, the business. It's more global. Anybody that wants to come on, they could sign up through Maria Pereza through Social Media Shows Network. And I've also done red carpets now. I guess a lot of people like when I'm giving interviews and seeing what they're about and kind of putting a spotlight on them. And I love that part. You get to learn so many about people's talents and where they come from, and some really good heartfelt connections. I love that part. That part.
How do people see that show? Where do they go to see it?
They go through Social Media Shows Network.
Okay.
And she's also on I think Spotify now. She just started that with the Spotify. Really cool. Oh, I gotta share something else. So there's Days of the Dead event coming up next month here. I have a booth with Social Media Shows Network. I'm gonna do interviews, but I'm also having Sean C. Phillips come out, and I'm making a 10x8 banner of Desert Fiends. So I'm really excited to connect with the people from the Days of the Dead event. There is so much talent, and there's so many people to connect to. So that part, I get really excited. I get tired.
Their events are
Nicole,
good.
Another question. Nicole, if the script is good and you were asked to be nude, would you do a nude?
Oh, probably not. No, I don't. This is as much as I go. I mean, I'm in my bikini sometimes, but then people can't handle themselves too well. So I don't want to open up those kind of doors. I think I'd rather be like combat soldier,
No, but you're not answering the question.
No, she said no.
Oh, you said no.
Yeah, she said no.
Good. That's
a good answer.
That's a very good answer.
I think it's a
if
good
they
answer.
ever asked me to do a nude, I'd say it won't be attractive, so let's not. It won't be.
I did do a slight romantic scene through Neil Breen's movie. He just had out. We did a private screen. Good thing it was a private screen. I was able to talk out loud on that one, but it was closed. You know, no, but it looked like it. So I was like, oh no! Now that it looks like it, people are gonna be like, well, you did it on his film. I'm like, oh yeah.
I did that with Terry Moore. Terry Moore's an old movie star, and we did movie kisses. We showed the audience on film how we kiss in the movies, and we miss each other's mouth. One kiss is here, you kiss off the lips, because some people's breath smells when you work with them, and you really don't want to kiss them.
Yeah, they like to mess up their lines and do it over again and again, like.
Exactly. We didn't get it close enough. That's what they said.
So
we didn't get the shot. Can we do it again?
So here's a question I like to ask all the actresses, and you're kind of like an actress, and you work behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. But so it's a two-part question. First part is male and female actor on a bucket list. If you could work with anybody, they could be living or dead. And then the second part of the question is, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made, what movie would you have liked to been in?
Oh yeah, goody stuff. So Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Bruce Willis, I don't usually. I'm a fan of anybody or anything but him. I would, if we were like in an elevator, somehow we'd be stuck on the elevator together. I would. Jaws of Life couldn't pry me from him. So maybe it's best that he's not into the showbiz anymore. Get him good. Not letting go. And then the movie I'd love to have been in is G.I. Jane.
I love that movie. You know, so that movie did not do well. Like I got panned a lot. I have seen that movie 500 times. I know all the lines in it. I think that is like one of the greatest movies ever, and I don't know why it didn't do well, but I love that movie. I watch it at least once a year. I really love that movie. Okay, so what's a female actress you'd like to work with?
It would be her.
Oh, Demi Moore.
Oh, yeah, them two. When they were there, I don't know. I look up to them. I like horror. Don't get me wrong. Ever since I was little, but something with those action and being strong and getting things done and getting in there.
We have a friend, her name, who does a lot of female action movies now. She's starting to. She's done a couple, and her name is Nina Bergman, and she's really, really cool.
I love Nina Bergman.
And she's super gorgeous, like you. She's gorgeous, but she
what
can handle herself.
What an actress. Oh, my God. She's going to be somebody big.
She just signed a big deal with somebody, too.
Oh,
she's in some big movie.
I love her work. I love her. But boy, oh, boy, is she good. Jesus, that movie was a wonderful movie.
I forgot. We saw a movie that she did. It was like a German,
and the movie,
German
she was
movie.
in ripped clothes, freezing cold throughout the film, wet. I mean, it was just, that actress was put through hell in that film. I felt so bad, and yet she delivered the most.
Hell Hath No Fury was the name of the movie.
And she delivered the most fabulous. She delivered a fabulous film. And the working conditions were really rough. I mean, she was beaten up, thrown around, punched, kicked, smacked, blown up. Wow. I thought, when I saw her, we went to her birthday party. I said, how the hell did you endure all of that? She said, I'm still aching.
And somehow she just posted something on Instagram. It was a Deadline article about some new movie she just got attached to with really
I
big
would
people.
go see her films all the time. She's a wonderful actress.
Yeah, she's just
Nina
fun.
Bergman, folks. Keep your eye on that number.
So you guys, real quick, because we've only got like 4 minutes left, and we want to Desert Fiends, you guys. They're doing crowdfunding with Robert Lasardo, Sean Phillips, Eileen Dietz, William Bill Connor, Lorelei Linklater, and Brett Wagner. We know all of them except for Lorelei, and they're crowdfunding. You can follow Nicole's all her posts in social media. Are you on Twitter?
I'm not.
Okay,
I guess I have to start joining the other social media platforms. I just didn't know I was going to be in it, how long, or the opportunities. It just kept coming and doors opening up, and connecting with you guys too. You guys are amazing. I can't wait to see you one day on the red carpet or at some.
No, we'll definitely see you.
Definitely.
No, we're definitely going to see you. It's so.
I'd like to work with you one day. Wouldn't that be fun?
I would love that. I talked to Sean already. I was like, "Hey, Sean C. Phillips."
You could play my daughter. You could play my daughter.
We had Sean Phillips. I think we did a Clown Motel 2. I think he's in Clown Motel 2. I think because we had a cast party. Sean Phillips, the director who's doing this movie that she's going to be in, and we had him on our show. And I follow him in social media because he buys movies every week and shows everybody what movies he bought. He must have the biggest DVD collection on the planet. But he's a cool guy, and his movies are pretty good. And so congratulations on that. And really congratulations on all the things that you've accomplished in such a short period of time, because you got like 10 movies, besides some TV shows. So also, I wrote down Drone Down, Move Me No Mountain, Halloween Evil Lives. So you've got like a bunch of movies you've been in. You're working in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, plus you're a TV talk show host, and now you're going to do red carpet interviews. So you're taking the world by storm. You're taking the world by storm, and it's more power to you.
And I'm happy you're doing this, because 15 years ago, I was always an actor. I did stage and theater and movies all my life, and I began this show. So I said to Jimmy, "My God, I hope people don't think that I'm a know-it-all. I'm an actor, Broadway, movies, a talk show host. Now everybody is exactly what I am: an actor, a Broadway star, a movie, and a talk show host. So I don't feel like I'm a show off."
All right, I just showing off on the set. Show what you got. Show your character. Make it fun. I think that's what it's all about.
I do, but I don't show off, because showing off gets in the way of the character. But I mean to say is that I was embarrassed to tell. But they said, "What do you do?" I was embarrassed to say I had a very important talk show called Set the Record Straight. I was on television with that one, and I interviewed Lauren Bacall, but it was Jane Russell, everybody, all the legends of Hollywood.
Actually, Rich, you're old enough to know who those people are. I didn't think you were, but if you have a 28-year-old son, so he was best friends with Jane Russell, and he knew Betty Davis, he knew Elizabeth Taylor,
everybody.
He knew all the different.
Because people. I came up in that era where they were working people, So I get embarrassed sometimes with people. Somebody said I was a name dropper. I said, "Oh, go fuck yourself. I'm not a name dropper. I just knew these people. What if it was a plumber named Louis and I talked about Louis, my plumber? Would you call me a name dropper? No. But because I talk about Sophia Loren or Betty Davis or Jane Russell, I become a name dropper. Too bad. They were my friends. I hung out with these people. I went to their homes for dinner parties. We had fun together. They're my friends. So people are stupid.
So you guys, Nicole, follow her on Instagram at Nicole_Butler Vegas. You can.
No, I like
you can
Nicole
scan her
Vegas. Forget the Butler.
For the
I like
Desert Fiends.
Nicole Vegas. You look like Nicole Vegas. You don't look like a butler. You look like a showgirl. And you look like a Vegas showgirl. And Nicole Vegas, that's your name.
Donate to Desert Fiends, and you guys follow Nicole. We want to thank you for coming on the show. We'll see you on social media because it's time to go. Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. Nicole, thank you so much. Congratulations and good luck on everything you do. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon, honey bun.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
And try not to get so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.